Good afternoon and welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me at MarketSite is Jay Jacobs. He's the head of research and strategy over at Global X Funds. We're going to talk about disruptive technologies and thematic investing. Jay, it's great to have you back in studio with me. And let's get right into it. How does thematic investing fit into investor portfolios now?
Sure. So it really fits nicely into thematic growth portfolios. So people who are looking for growth over the next 10, 20 years. One of the problems we see with portfolios right now is the forward returns on just really broad market indexes don't look that good. You have pretty high valuations in the market. You have slowing GDP growth rate. You have some kind of troubling demographic issues around the world. So people are worried that if you just buy the broad index, that you might not get the growth that we've got in the last 40 or 50 years. So people are really looking at what are the high growth opportunities that are out there. And a lot of that is involved in thematic investing, where we're looking at disruptive technologies like robotics and artificial intelligence, lithium and battery technology, social media, these really fast growing, rapidly emerging industries.
Would you say the fintech fund within the thematic investing portfolio is the one that is either growing the most or the most exciting at this point? Because that kind of encompasses all of the technologies.
Oh, totally. Yeah. So fintech is it's the marriage of technology and financials. And that's where the whole financials world is going. I mean, think about how much has happened over the last few years around data and analytics and automated software. I mean, now banking is done online. It's not really done in branches anymore. So much of it is transferring over into the technology world. And our fintech ETF is really trying to isolate those companies. One of the fastest areas we've seen this year is in the payments space. So this isn't really in traditional finance, really. This has nothing to do with investing or banking. It's about stores. It's about going to a coffee shop and how you pay for a cup of coffee. That's one of the fastest growing segments we're seeing right now.
All right, let's talk about the Global X methodology. How does it work when you're selecting these stocks to go within the portfolio?
Sure. So we're looking on an annual basis at which stocks fit into a fintech theme. And so we define it as a few subcategories. We look at things like payments, we look at crypto and blockchain, we look at data and analytics, we're looking at peer-to-peer lending, crowdfunding, kind of all the different things that are happening across the financial services industry that's related to technology. And basically you have to be a company that's driving the majority of your revenues from one of those segments to get into the portfolio. So it is kind of an interesting blend of kind of tech companies working in finance and finance companies working in tech, but that's ultimately what the portfolio looks like.
All right, and to wrap up, outside of fintech and the themes that we just spoke about, what are some other hot topics?
One of the hot topics, as always, is social media. That's expected to see really strong earnings this quarter. Just a lot of companies right now are showing just really impressive earnings growth rates. What you see in the marketing world is a lot of marketers are spending a lot on advertising because it's very scalable. It sometimes can be hard to hire in this kind of environment where you see very low unemployment. So if you have more dollars to spend, they're spending it on advertising. And social media companies are just cleaning up on that.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us at MarketSite. Thank you for joining me throughout the day. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.